All right, guys, welcome back. Trying something to do with my microphone because I've sounded really echoey in the last couple episodes. So I'm hoping this isn't as echoey. I don't know if it's like
I
where
have
I'm
two,
at.
if it helps.
Yeah,
Mine's weird.
I don't know. Anyway, okay, welcome back,
Yes.
squirrel. Okay, I'm actually really pumped for this. Have an exciting topic that Delancey found, and she's gonna go over it. So I'm introducing it. So there, what was it again? Four different what?
Let me pull it up. Four ways that adoption prompts disconnection from our bodies.
And I like that she brought this up because she said there's going to be things I haven't seen any of it. So she's like seen it. So she's going to break it down for us. But she said this is going to be interesting with our stories. And we might feel one
Mhm.
way and we might feel the other way because of what we've gone through. So I'm excited to do this. Okay, let's go.
I love that you went like to, I'm excited to do this. Let's go. Yeah. Um, I mean, so let's see. This is not even gonna go in. I'm just gonna start. Okay, so we're gonna go with
Okay.
number one.
Okay.
It says lack of genetic mirroring. Not being able to see yourself mirrored in those around you contributes to an unstable sense of self.
Do you want me to just hash it now that we've read the first one? Do you want me to just talk about it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I have issues with this. Yes, I am somebody that I fully admit wanted to see somebody that looked like me, but I really, truly, honest to God, feel that I wasn't like, oh my gosh, woe is me. I have all these issues. Poor me that I don't have anybody that looks like me. I never once
Mm-hmm.
thought that. I was curious. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
are there people out there that maybe look like me? But I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Like, I think it's fine to have interest, but it's how you perceive it and you go about it is how you're going to
Right.
determine how you feel about it. Like why feel so nasty about it? Like I don't understand
Well,
that.
I feel like the way they worded it was very poor. Like it
Yes.
was very poor wording because I understand what their intention is, their intentionality
Yes.
behind it. However, I just feel like it's the wording could have been done very differently. It could have been done a little more eloquently, a
Yeah.
little less. It almost felt like it was borderline aggressive wording.
Yes.
But I also believe that the aggressive wording is, to catch people's attention. That's the only way
Yes.
you're going to get them to continue to read. And I mean,
Right.
it's to me, it's just weird. Like, there's no sense in putting it the way that you did, where you say not being able to see yourself mirrored contributes to an unstable sense of self. I feel like it goes back to blanket statements, but
No, it
you
totally
know,
does.
I could see how people would question their identity if
Yeah.
they don't have people that look like them. I think where like with my story, like you said that you've always been interested in seeing people that look like you. Well, even though I'm not from the same genetic makeup as my family,
Yeah.
I have two sisters that have brown hair, brown eyes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
olive tone skin. So like I blend with them, even though in
Right.
the sister that lives here may be blonde hair, blue eyed, but we're very similar in our personalities. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like I don't I just feel like they could have worded it better. But then again, shock value gets the likes.
It's so
It's
true.
just it's the wording. It's the wording for me. And I feel like some people just are more about shock and awe than they are about let's start a
No.
conversation.
No, it's true. And the thing I don't get is like, okay, people who are biologically the same looking as their families. What if you look in the mirror and you like see something you don't like and you know that person? Does that make sense? Like, what's the difference in that? You see something in there and you're like, maybe I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
be like that person. Maybe I don't want to do the same things as those.
Mm-hmm.
How does that not F with your
Same
identity
thing.
too? Yeah, exactly.
Same
So it's
thing.
like, not just because you're adopted. I mean, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you. I get it. Have compassion for that, but it's just you nailed it on the head. The way that they worded it is very, very poor.
Mm-hmm.
Very poor.
I actually like that you pointed out what if you have somebody you are but not biologically related to and you see something that you don't like example, my genetics. are very much like my biological mother, and where I stand with her right now, I have worked very, very hard to not have that body type anymore.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So
Exactly.
exactly what you're saying, it could work anyway. You know,
Yes.
it
Exactly.
just the wording, but again, shock and awe.
Right. 100%.
I guess this is their way to create a conversation, but the dissertation that's underneath the post tells me otherwise. I don't know. I
Right.
just all
Right.
right, number two, lack of medical history. Without family medical history, each doctor's visit is a reminder of the unknownness of your body, when it might break down or what the future may or may not bring.
So I think for me, where like I always wanted to know is because I think it was said so much and kind of, I don't want to say pushed, but talked about so much. Anytime I like went to a well check or anything like that, my mom's like, well, we don't have her history because she's adopted. So for me, I'm just like, oh, like it was just like I felt like I needed to worry about it. And necessarily I
Right.
didn't really have to worry about it, but I felt like it was a necessity I always had to have,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean? But as I got older and wanted to actually like take care of myself, start moving my body, eating correctly, it's like whether I know history or not, I'm still going to do this every single day
Right.
because who knows what cards you're going to be dealt. You could end up with cancer
Right.
even knowing your genetic history. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not a
Yeah.
guarantee.
It's not a guarantee at all, because you might be the one person in your family that gets hit with some super rare disease that nobody has seen since like your great 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 whatever.
Yeah.
You never know. I guess I guess I'm one of those weirdos that I'm like, family medical history adopted, and just mark through everything. Like I literally would write adopted across like the whole thing. So like big letters. So like there was it just I was like less time filling out paperwork. Yes.
Right. I
I
figured it
just
out.
yeah, I just looked at the practicality of it, I think. And it's, even after meeting, like I still don't have answers because with medical history, but I have a phenomenal doctor that I work with that has helped me figure out, unlock things about my genetics, my medical history. So I don't think that where we are in the world today, with the technology that we have now and with the tests that we have now and the doctors that we have now, I don't really think this is a factor anymore.
Agreed. Yeah,
It
agreed. And
it, it, it might be for some people, maybe.
right. But I also feel like with like what you're saying too, open adoption. There's way more open
Mm-hmm.
adoption these days. So if people want to
Mm-hmm.
know that too, they've got that segue on that
Right.
part if they don't care as much. I feel
Right.
like it's not as big of a deal as it once was, like you're saying.
Right. Exactly. And it's even people with our age or older and things that are older adoptees. I mean, truth be told, if you're not getting your annual wellness checks and if you're not taking care of your body, that really has nothing to do with your medical history. If something goes wrong at that point, that it has to do with accountability with you
Exactly.
of not taking care of your body. I mean, if you take your vehicle in every how often to get the oil changed and to get tires rotated and everything, you should be treating your body the same way. You need to be taking care of your body.
Amen.
Medical history doesn't
Seriously.
give you that. Like,
Amen to that.
you know,
Amen to
just
that. No, I love it. Seriously, because it's true. Okay.
yeah. All right.
Next.
Number three.
Oh, must be good.
It's just so I don't know. I just know everybody is so different. So somebody listening may hear these things and be like, well, I have thought about that before. And respectfully, I get that. But like something like this is just going like, what the like I don't know. It's again wording for me. Number three, loss of body lineage. Adoptees wonder, who do I look like? Where do my freckles come from? My skin, my eyes, my hair, my shape.
Interesting. Okay. Let me point this out. If y'all
Mhm.
been following my journey, if you saw me
Mhm.
and my birth mom, we could not be total opposites. We have some features that are the same, but dude, she's like 4 foot nothing. Yeah. You
She's
know what
like,
I
she like
But you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I I get with the mannerisms and stuff, those are things, but
Right.
like it honestly for me was not a make or break kind of thing. It was kind of like,
Okay.
yeah, sister has this of my mom and brother has this of my mom and
Mhm.
whatever, that's cool. For me, I mean, I talked about too, once I started having my kids, I can see it now. And there wasn't that
Mhm.
huge like yearn to like, oh, I have to have all these people that match me. My whole intent in finding my birth family or birth mom since day
Mhm.
one was simply to tell her thank you. I was not
Right.
trying to seek answers. I was not trying to gain all this. Has it blossomed into more? Yes, but it's not like, oh my gosh, I have to. No, no. Anyway, what about you?
No. It just you kill me when you do that. No. Um, I mean, I don't know. I guess I never thought about it. I mean, now granted, it
Okay.
once I saw that I favored my biological dad, like I have his mouth, I have his nose, like I have his hair, like definitively have his hair.
Yeah.
Like once I saw the favoritism there to him, and then I did see like some of my features come from her. I mean, yeah, it was kind of neat to like, oh my gosh, like piece it together. Like that
Yeah.
was cool. Like that was great after finding it, but I don't think I ever had a loss of body lineage.
Yes. Amen
I
to
just
that.
I yeah, it wasn't like I need this. It just was what it was. But I think that all I mean, again, it comes back to, my family was always just really great at reassuring me about I
Right.
mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's I can understand where people come from because even though it wasn't a thing,
Yeah.
once I was able to see pictures and put it
Yeah.
together and be like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it like, skin
Right.
tone, him, mouth,
Right.
him, nose, him, hair, him, eyes,
Right.
her, like it was like, okay, that's kind of cool to see how that came from. But it just makes me think of this clip that I saw recently from Deion Sanders, which, let me just go and say I'm such a huge fan of him as a football coach. I think he's fantastic. I just love him. I think he's wonderful. And I
It's
don't
been
care
fun
what
to
school he goes.
watch.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
it's been
Super
fun
fun
to
to watch. He's
watch.
great. And, I don't care. Like, put this down. Like, go ahead and jot this down. Take this as a note. I don't care what school he goes to, what school he coaches at. I will rock with that school as long as he is there. Period in the
I
story.
love it.
I love him. I think he's fantastic. He's really just shaking everything up, and I love that.
Yeah.
But Deion Sanders did a press interview not too long ago, and there was a clip that I recently saw from him, and he said, and it just looking at this makes me think of him saying, I was paraphrasing, I'm not worried about your opinion of me. You're not the one who created me. God is the
Ooh.
one who created me. God is the one who made me. I will worry about where, like, he's the one that brought me here. The fact that he
Quote
said
for
that,
this week.
well, and
Sorry.
it's such a true, no, you're right. It's such a true statement though. And I think that's another thing is I'm so thankful I was raised, learning about God early and learning about Jesus. And, even though I got a little lost, I feel like that was definitely part of my journey, how to do it. But
Right.
I think that's why I never questioned that
Yeah.
because,
Will you say that
I'm,
one more time? Because I kind of cut you off with it. Like right after you said it, I was like,
well,
say what he said again. Deion Sanders.
he said, I'm not, paraphrasing again. I mean, I'll probably get it wrong the second time, but he said, I'm not worried about your opinion of me because you're not the one that created me. I mean,
That
it's true.
is
It's just
solid.
like,
I love it.
I mean, Deion Sanders is just him saying that alone. It's one of those things of, and I look at this and it makes me think of that. And it's like, why are you so worried about who you look like?
Right.
Worry about who
Right.
made you. Worry
Yeah.
about who is guiding you through this life and, being
Mhm.
able to show his love and his light through you. Like, I don't, I think that's why that's just hard. Like, I understand it, but it just goes back to the whole entire thing of, I don't know. I mean, I just have a different take on that. if so, I mean, someone else may have a different take, and I totally respect their opinion, but I just think Dion said it best.
No, I love that so stinking much. No, I do. I love that so much. And the thing I got from that too is when you were saying like it was cool to see, XYZ from mom or dad, like, all this. It's
Mhm.
something you thought was cool, but it's not something that you grew up with, like, I have to know, I need to know.
Mm-mm.
Like, and it didn't alter your identity. It was simply like, okay, I have this
No.
opportunity. I can see them. I can see where bam, 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 bam came from, but it's not like,
Mhm.
oh my gosh, this is life altering. Like, that's the thing I don't get is when people do me like have these things happen, they're like, everything was taken away from me. La, la, la. I'm like, what? No, what? No, just move forward from it. Be like, this is dope. This
Right.
is cool. Okay, let's, I just don't understand that. So, no, I love that. I love that so much.
I was gonna say it doesn't make sense when I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for every single person in the world, but
Right.
there's just certain times I hear things like that, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Yeah,
Like,
agreed. Yeah.
all
That
right,
makes sense. Number four. Oh, they just keep getting better. You guys are watching this. You can see Delancey go from oh.
just like I mean, like, and I even like read through these before we started
Before we
this, and
did
I'm
this,
still
yeah.
just going, what the world? I've already forgotten it by the time I got here. That lets you know how crazy the world is right now for me. Number four, I don't think they spelled this right, but hold on. Let me hold on.
You're
Yeah, they did
good.
not. They didn't.
Okay,
Yeah, they didn't spell that right. See, you just lose me when you don't spell it right.
it's true though.
Proverbial trauma prompts internalized meaning making. Quote, I'm unlovable. Quote, there's something wrong with me. Quote, I feel so wounded. Quote, I'm such a burden.
Okay, don't laugh at me. But what the hell does pervert mean? Like trauma
I'm gonna
from
I'm gonna Google the word because I don't want to
where
give
my
because
phone
like
went.
I understand what it means in context, but I
Right,
don't
right,
want to
right.
give the incorrect definition and then somebody come into our comments and be like, that is not what that means. And me be like,
That
yeah,
is
oh yeah,
wrong.
I knew they misspelled it. I mean, I didn't exactly spell it correctly either, but still. Hold on, let me just make sure I'm not crazy. I'm gonna type in their spelling because
It's spelled wrong.
I know they spelled it. I mean, they spelled it.
Vocal, not the periodic table.
Okay. Okay. It's Preverbal. Okay, I said it wrong. I threw an I in there. That was my bad. Existing or occurring before the development of speech. Oh, preverbal. Haha. They should have put a space between it.
Okay, so pre-verbal. Read it for me one more time. What number four is pre-verbal? What trauma?
Yeah, there should be a dash right there. Preverbal trauma prompts internalized meaning making. I'm unlovable. There's something wrong with me. I feel so wounded. I'm such a burden.
Okay, this is where I have a real issue with it because I feel this one like it claps back to adoption trauma where people like to claim right out the gate is when you have trauma. But I mean, I feel like me and Delancey, I don't know that I've really spoke about mine as much. I've spoke about it to her off the air because I'm
Mm-hmm.
more comfortable with it. Like the trauma we've gone through with our stories that quote unquote could be like adoption trauma. But it's like, this is what that all goes back to me. It's like all those, why don't you feel loved? Why? Okay, I want to know why. Tell me that
Mm-hmm.
first. Why don't you feel loved? Like, go down to the
Mm-hmm.
next question. I don't remember what the next one is, but I mean, like, you could question every single one of those to somebody and be like, why? Or like, I'm not enough. Like, and y'all know with my story, I'm smack dab in the middle of somebody who was
Right.
placed for adoption. And I could have had those thoughts. But here's where I'm going to go. The Lord Savior Jesus Christ, man. He knew what he was doing and he knew
Yep.
I needed to be here and he knew. And so I lean onto that. And then I look at everything that is so beautiful in my life. Cause I'm sorry. why are we focusing on that? Who wants to be around people that are like, "Ugh, I'm not enough. This is happening." Nobody. I don't want to be around those people at all. They're obnoxious.
Well, like, and it's one of those things of people that generally feel that because I felt that when I was going through my depression. I felt like I wasn't enough. I felt like a burden. I felt like I was unlovable. What was it that I said in one episode? Oh yeah, that my ex fiance told me is that I'm just too hard to love. That was super fun.
Oh,
But like it's totally fine now. Whatever.
no.
I mean, trust me, we're good. Lots of healing over here. Lots of healing. But it's one of those things of nobody knew I felt that way because people that in my experience, those that actually go through those thoughts internalize them so deeply
Yeah,
and it's they don't want to the I don't I'm such a burden. They won't say anything because they don't want to bother anybody.
that makes sense.
Also, I have a problem with this because I've looked at what is considered pre-verbal and under three different things, it has three different ages. Last time I checked, pre-verbal is not 2 to 4. You talking between 2 to 4.
Yeah, you are.
The only one I agree with is one that says 0 to 12 months.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I feel like that's right. But
But
it's
here's
it's
my
one of
oh
those no, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, go ahead.
no, you're good. I was just gonna say my question for you is that hard time of your life that you went through, is it because of
Mhm.
adoption? Because you were adopted?
No,
See,
no,
that's where I
it's
feel like
no.
this is concocted because yeah, people go through, depression episodes and
Hmm.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know that I've gone through anything crazy, crazy, crazy severe. Postpartum was hard for me.
Hmm.
But like I've never been through something as deep as that. I've had friends who have, like you have, and so I try and empathize, but I don't know the full aspect of it. And so I try and honor it and hold space for that because I can't imagine. Just because
Well,
like knowing the
it's
person that you are, and I know you fought to become the woman that you are, but I'm just like, oh, if I knew you, I'd be like smothering you and you would hate me because I'd be like, go on, save me.
it's definitely it's something I talk about very freely now. I struggled talking about it whenever I was first beginning my healing journey about it because I would always cry, like
Yeah.
always cry. And it was one of those things that I was very selective of who I talked about it to.
Yeah.
Um, because that's a hard thing to say out loud is that you as a human being felt like you were doing more harm than good to other
Yeah.
people and all you want to
Right.
do is like I mean, like to your very core, you just want people to support you. And like we talk about all the time, you just want people to support you and love you and be there for you. So
Right.
but it's interesting that you asked if it came from adoption. And it's, you know, no, not even slightly, not even close. I think, but okay, so, okay. Trying to think how to say this without coming out to say it because I know we have kind of younger ears that listen to this a little bit. So I'm trying to think of a way. So I think me being adopted and my family being who they are to me, in my heart, in my soul, and everything that matters to me most, my family, I would lay down my life for them. And my
Yeah.
mom, my dad, my sisters, my brothers-in-law, my nieces, my nephews, I would lay down my life for them. Like no,
Right.
without even a second thought, I would
Yeah.
100% do that. There were times that during that dark period, and this is where I get a little annoyed with people when they try to talk about, them having quote unquote depression. There were times that the darkness was so consuming that I would a lose track of time. I would have to like schedule, like my phone would have to have my work schedule in it on the calendar so that I would make sure to, know when I was supposed to be. I mean, that's why I'm so crazy about my schedule sometimes. It's like
Right.
it
Right.
was one of my habits to make sure I stayed on track. And so no
Right.
one knew. But when the darkness was so ever consuming, I firmly believe that me being adopted with into the family that I'm adopted in is what kept that darkness right at the cusp.
Yeah.
It never, like, it would surround me,
Yeah.
but it never completely infiltrated me to the point that I couldn't see the little speck of light at the end.
Right. Right.
If that makes sense. Anyone that
Yeah.
understands what it, like, that are following me, they may follow exactly what I'm saying
Yeah.
here. But it was kind of like that little speck of light
Right.
at the very, very back part of the darkness
Right.
is was definitively my family,
Yeah.
without a shadow of a doubt in my mind. Because they they made me feel, even, I was a brat most of the times. My sisters would probably tell you that. My mom and dad would probably tell you that I was difficult. But at the very core of my being, I knew I was loved. I knew I was that there, I joke that, people say, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, today or in general, which do you want to list? Like, what's going on here? Like, I always joke about stuff like that. But I never felt like I couldn't come out of it. I just knew
Right.
it would take a while to get there.
Yeah.
And I never understood why I knew that. I just knew I knew that. But it really bothers me when people want to take that darkness that is surrounding them, which could be something that is, it's sometimes it's the wiring in our brains doesn't work really well, or it's not connected correctly, or it's just the way we're made. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's experiences that we've gone through. It's things that people have said to us, and that's just the way we are. And we internalize those things, and it builds on each other. That's fine. Or it may be because this is where the blanket statements come in. I don't feel that somebody who has gone through the foster care system and has been adopted has is this is going to sound weird, is the same as somebody who was adopted in infancy.
I agree with you on that.
I don't think, like you and I have talked about with our, quote unquote adoption trauma. I mean, mine came after the fact,
Yeah.
after, full grown adult,
Right.
met biologicals, years down the line, my adoption trauma happened.
Right.
And I don't even know that I would call it adoption trauma. I think I would just call it trauma, a
Right.
traumatic event
That happened.
that happened, and the people involved just happened to be a part of the adoption community.
Right. 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 Right.
I
No, that
think,
makes sense.
that could have happened with anybody. I just think that this is more applicable to somebody who has gone through the foster care system,
Yeah.
and then which I would understand this.
Yeah, I agree
I would
100%.
understand that
Yeah.
thought process.
Yeah.
But
No, I
saying
agree.
all of
Can I
this, go ahead.
No, I want to just say thank you for sharing that because I have friends also like Delancey who have been through some pretty dark times and I am not one to be like, I know exactly what you feel because I honestly don't. Like I don't. I've had hard times, but it's nothing like and so like I said, I just try and listen and like take it all in, but I'm never one that's
Mhm.
going to be like, well, you should do X, Y, and Z to make yourself feel better. No, because I don't know. Everybody's different. Like Delancey
Mhm.
just talked about having a schedule to like help herself. Somebody else that might crumble them if they tried to keep up with something like that. You know,
Mhm.
everybody's just wired so different when they go through this hard time. But I wanted to ask her, like, is it adoption that did that? Like, no. And she's gonna say that straight up front. Like, no, it's part of being a human, just a human being. And it sucks ass and it's hard. And I mean, like
Mhm.
I said, but like if you guys can't see it, I mean, I can see it. Like just the amazing, wonderful, beautiful human that she is and that she still fights for every single day. No, you really do though. You really do.
Do.
And and
Yeah.
it's just like you know, and there's ups and downs and there's always going to be, but I know with like getting to know Delancey, like she just knows that like it's better, it's hard and it's sucky. She embraces those hard days, but it's like when you look at the bigger picture and you have God in your life, like wow, like you can take on
Mhm.
anything even when you take 4 days, a week,
Mhm.
2 weeks to be in this. But like she said, she saw the light at the end of the tunnel and that's different for everybody. And it's going to take time for everybody but there's just some people who like to sit and embrace that darkness and they like to
Mhm.
bleed it out on other people to be like, this is how it truly is. And I'm like, but there's so many people that I've seen like Delancey. It may have taken her a while, but they've done their damnedest to get to where they are. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, your story's like this. It's just
Right.
what you choose to do, how you choose to be. And she's talked a lot about her faith journey on here, like making a
Mhm.
really good, solid connection with God. And I know he hears her all the time, even on hard days. Okay, sorry, that took a ramble.
No, no, it's I you made me feel warm, like you made me feel warm and fuzzy inside. And
Good.
like I mean it's definitely one of those things where, like you said, you can take the good and the bad and you can embrace, like we you have to embrace it all. Like it's
Yeah.
all,
Yeah.
I talked about it in another one. There was a clip that in another episode previously to this one where, a man was talking about losing his son, and he was, saying, to be human is to suffer.
Yeah.
And, that's the reason
That's a good
why,
one too.
like, I almost feel like I used to I never knew how to answer people when they would say, God doesn't exist. If God existed, bad things wouldn't happen, and bad things don't happen to good people. And,
Yeah.
all that other stupid stuff that people, non believers, like to say whenever they're
Yeah.
talking about God and like trying to challenge our faith in Him and everything. And,
Yeah.
it's almost one of those things where I kind of correlate it to, just because you're a good person, it doesn't exempt you
Right.
from things,
It's true. So
and
true.
sometimes you have people who are what is it that they say, like the anointed ones get to suffer more than other people, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's one of those things of, yeah, we have free will and we get to make choices, but that's the beautiful thing about it, is we have free will and we get to make
Right.
choices. Like God knows everything. He has a divine plan set for us, but he gives us that free will. And it's almost like, if our I'm about to correlate it really crazy for some of you out there, in Marvel. Love me some Marvel movies.
Me
Um,
too.
but and Doctor Strange made the comment to Tony Stark and said, out of all of these probable endings, you survive. Like, I think it's a we
One.
survive only with one.
One.
And he looked at all of I mean, that is essentially how God works in all of our lives. Like, he knows every single path we could possibly take. He's giving us the option to take them and to learn and to grow and to develop and to show, use what he teaches us to show other people and to create disciples and do all those things. Like, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't we want to take these things and share it with other people? Like, why not? Like, why are we so focused on, it goes back to, why are we so focused on the things that at the end of the day, they don't change your daily life? I mean, granted, I could see how medical history could affect some things, but with the technology we have today and with the testing we have today and the doctors we have today, I understand that not everybody has access to, you know, perfect medical care. And I know
Right.
we're listened to in a couple different countries, and I don't know where everybody's coming from that listens to us, but I
Right.
just think that at the end of the day, if you do your best to take care of yourself, that's all anyone can ask of you. I mean, you don't know. It's just a roll of the dice at that point.
Yeah.
Like, I could know I have a history of cancer, but that doesn't mean I'm going to get it.
Exactly.
That just means
Exactly.
that I just need
There's a
to be careful.
chance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a chance I could get it. And, at that point, kind of is what it is. And, that's the lot I was dealt in life. Why would I want to like dread that?
No.
It just doesn't make sense to me. Some
Well,
things,
and
like, it's just, mm.
me too, is it's like this sounds really harsh too, but it's like if you do know that you are going to get a certain kind of cancer and like there's things that they can't do for it, then what the hell are you going to do?
That
You know
part,
you have it, but like
that part.
maybe you can take a couple things to help ease the pain, but it doesn't mean that I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, to each their own, but
Yeah. And that's the other thing, to each their own. Like,
yeah, yeah, very true.
you're not right or wrong to want to know, as an adoptee, you're not right or wrong to want to know your medical history. It's not one or the other. It's
Right.
whatever is best for you.
Yeah.
I just don't think that your identity is solely tied into the fact that you are adopted. I
Yeah.
think that's
Amen.
it. We've said it before. We've said it in other episodes. It's part of your identity. It's
Amen.
not your sole identity.
Right. Right. I love that. No, I love that so much.
You want to know what the last part of this says?
What? Yes, I do.
There's
Please.
one more.
Please. Please, I want to know. What?
Just makes me laugh. So we remember how serious the topics are, right? We're not going to go into the detail, but number one, lack of genetic mirroring. Number two, lack of medical history. Number three, loss of body lineage. Number four, pre-verbal, I said it right this time. Pre-verbal trauma prompts internalized meaning making. The last part of this post says, adoptees, if you feel like you can't figure out what to eat or how to move, doesn't it make so much sense?
What?
Mm-hmm. Adoptees, if you feel like you can't
Hmm,
figure out what to eat or how to move, doesn't it make so much sense?
okay.
This is a really interesting take because now I did not read. We all know that if there's a dissertation under a post, I don't read it. I lose interest within the first like once I see how long it is. I'm like,
R-
no, not for me.
Right.
I just skimmed to the bottom. So those first four statements that were so like in your face, shock and all the things, the wording
Right.
we were not fans of. We both like were
Yes.
like, not a
Yeah.
huge fan of that. But it is what it is. You have, whatever. Um, I just I'm just gonna read this quickly. Do you feel disembodied, stuck in disassociation, freeze or fawn? Maybe you don't know yourself. Maybe you can't feel yourself. The information is not getting in. You don't know what to eat. You don't know what to do. You don't know yourself or your needs. It just makes sense when disconnection is baked into adoption. Disconnection from your roots, your truth, your culture, your history, your heritage, your genes. Disconnection from your biological mirrors. Here's the kicker. If you'd like nutrition support from an adoptee who speaks your language, click the link in my bio to a book to book a free discovery call with me. I'd love to see how I can help you.
Oh my hell. Let's just plug in my business at the end.
It
That's the hardest thing ever. Like, that is so
doesn't even make sense.
no.
Like, I work with marketing. This is nuts.
Ah,
It's all of that to book nutritional clients.
wow. Interesting.
Yeah, and I'm definitely not saying who it is because I don't want to plug them at all because I don't like that level of marketing.
Well, when we're off air, I want
Oh, well,
to
yeah, of course I'm gonna tell you when we're off air, just not on air. Sorry guys, you
Right?
can't know. It's a secret.
Anyway.
It's just
Oh,
it's very interesting to me because now that I know what the end game of this post is, let's say hypothetically I reached out to her before I began my did my mental health journey, my spiritual health journey, got those things strong again. Then I started my physical journey back in March.
yeah.
Even if I had called her, even if she quote unquote spoke my language, okay, who him, her, whatever, even if they spoke my language, I guess as an adoptee, I guess whatever. Um, she would not have been able to help me.
Right. Right. 100%. No, it's true. That's so true.
Like, because I'd worked with nutritionists before that were very skilled.
Right, right,
Wasn't a
right.
huge, not a huge fan of their personality and their, people skills, but they
Right.
were very talented nutrition wise. They couldn't help. Like, so this person, even though she's an adoptee and that's an amazing plug, that doesn't mean you can help like all the questions now. I'm not going to
No, I
ask them,
agree.
but like so
No, I
many.
agree.
Like I have so many questions.
Just wow. Wow.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Anyway, folks, if you learned anything, just you need nutrition advice, I guess.
You
Uh,
need nutrition advice, go talk to your doctor first.
right? Wow. Just wow. I
I'm
just
like
can't.
almost, I'm like borderline, I'm like borderline bothered
No, I agree.
by this.
100%. No,
Even
I
more
agree.
so now. Even more
Yeah.
so now because knowing that it's just a marketing ploy, like that bothers me even more than
Yeah.
before.
It's
That's what
horrible.
I get for not like going all the way to the end, not like fully reading all like the dissertation. However, I mean, it was a great topic. It is a
Yeah.
great topic to talk through
Yeah.
and to discuss because I do feel like these are really big things.
Yeah.
I just, mm,
Wow.
hmm.
That's
So, do you have anything you'd like to add?
no, because that end was a kicker, man. Wow.
And,
No,
you know,
I think I'll just say this to like kind of end it off is it's like no matter what happens in your life, you choose how you react, what you're going to do about it. And you know what? You can
mhm,
choose to be spiteful, contentious, all those kinds of things. And, or you can choose to try and do the best that you can, I guess, with what you have. It just,
mhm.
I don't know, because I mean, yeah, I just don't understand it, but it is what it is.
Mm.
What about you? Anything else you want to
No, nope,
say?
no,
All right.
she,
Well,
he,
thanks,
whatever.
guys. I'm excited to kind of like get out of this so then Blancy can tell me who this person is. Anyway, thanks, guys, for listening as always, and we will catch you next time.